On September 25, 3 people were killed by Russian bombardments in the Donetsk region and 11 people were wounded, said Pavlo Kyrylenko, the head of the Donetsk Regional Military Administration. 2 people perished in Avdiivka and 1 in Bakhmut. Mr. Kyrylenko added that it is currently impossible to determine the accurate number of victims in Mariupol and Volnovakha. Since the full-scale Russian invasion, 887 people have been killed and 2,244 wounded in the Donetsk region. The Russian military carried out another missile strike on Kramatorsk, said Alexander Goncharenko, the head of the Kramatorsk city military administration. Another shelling of Kramatorsk by 2 S-300 missiles, a hospital, apartment buildings and garages damaged. No victims, he reported. On September 25, debris was cleared on the territory of 2 schools in Izium, number 4 and number 12, the Kharkiv Regional State Emergency Service posted on Facebook. The rescuers continue working in the liberated Balaklia. Over 24 hours, rescuers of the unified crew continued working on the destroyed sewerage pumping station. Electricity supply was restored in 6 apartment buildings, they wrote. Pyrotechnicians were engaged in working in the liberated territories 63 times. They examined and cleared the total area of 25.96 hectares, removed and defused 748 explosive items, the emergency service reported. Over the day, the rescuers twice went to extinguish the fires caused by the Russian shellings. In Kupiansk district, an educational facility was struck. In Chuhuivsky district, an industrial enterprise was hit. On the night of September 24, the Russian troops struck Zaporizhzhia again. One of the missiles hit a residential area and damaged an apartment building. 1 woman was killed, 8 people were injured. One of them was hospitalized, said Anatoly Kurtiev, acting mayor of Zaporizhzhia. The missile strike set one of the apartment buildings on fire. The fire was stopped. The residents were placed in a communal bus that was used as a hitting point. It blasted twice, with about a minute interval, and before that there was a glare from the side of Borodinsky district. The sky turned yellow and then the blast. In addition, windows were blown out in 9 apartment buildings. In cottages, the windows were also broken out and roofs were destroyed. The fragments killed 1 woman and injured 8, reported the regional police. In total, at least 5 missiles were launched at the city, targeting infrastructure facilities, said Alexander Starukh, the head of the Zaporizhzhia Regional Military Administration. On September 25, Russian forces launched missiles on a few districts in Zaporizhzhia and a village in Zaporizhzhia district. 3 wounded people are reported, said Alexander Starukh, the head of the Zaporizhzhia Regional Military Administration. The heavy attack damaged the civil infrastructure in the city and suburbs. Some people were wounded, reported acting mayor Anatoly Kurtiev. On the night of September 26, another Russian missile attack on Zaporizhzhia destroyed infrastructure facilities and caused fires. Allegedly, no one was injured, said Alexander Starukh, the head of the Zaporizhzhia Regional Military Administration. The missile strike damaged residential houses where windows were blown out, an educational facility and a healthcare facility, said acting mayor Anatoly Kurtiev. A garage complex also had destructions. It caught fire and some cars were damaged. On the night of September 24, the Russian army shelled Nikopolsky district of Dnipropetrovsk region from BM-21 and BM-27. As a result of the attack, 2 people were injured, namely a 51-year-old woman and a 49-year-old man. Both are in the hospital. Valentin Reznichenko, the head of the regional military administration, announced in his Telegram channel that there is destruction of residential buildings and farm buildings. Mykola Lukashuk, the head of the regional council, announced in his telegram that as a result of shelling by Russian troops in the morning of September 24, 3 people were injured at a bread factory in Marhanets, Nikopolsky district. According to him, these are 2 men and a woman. They are in the hospital. As the official informed, during the day, the Russian military again shelled Marhanets Gromada from the BM-21, and in the evening, Zelenodolsk Gromada in Krivorisky district from BM-27. There is damage to industrial buildings. There were no casualties. On the night of September 25, the Russian military fired about 170 shells from BM-21 and barrel artillery at 3 Hromadas of Nikopolsk district in Dnipropetrovsk region. Almost 7,000 people were left without electricity. Previously, there were no casualties. According to Mr. Reznichenko, on the night of September 26, Russian troops fired almost 130 shells at 4 Hromadas of Nikopolsk district. In Nikopol, almost 40 houses, more than 20 farm buildings, cars, panels of the solar station were damaged. Homes of almost 3,000 families have been de-energized. Previously, there were no casualties or injuries. The press service of Operational Command South reported that on the morning of September 25, Odesa was attacked by kamikaze drones. The Russian army hit the administrative buildings in the center of the city 3 times. One drone was shot down by air defense forces. There are no casualties. As noted in the Air Command South, the strike was carried out by Iranian Shahid 136 kamikaze drones, one of which was shot down over the sea. Gennady Truhanov, the mayor of the city, announced that the buildings around the administration building in Odesa, which was hit by kamikaze drones, suffered minor damage. On the night of September 26, the Russian military attacked Odesa region with kamikaze drones. The Operational Command South reported that one was shot down by Ukrainian air defense to hit a military facility. As a result of a large-scale fire and the detonation of ammunition, the evacuation of the civilian population has been organized. So far, there are no casualties, the command informed. The press service of emergency workers reported that on the night of September 24, Russian troops shelled the village of Kalinivka, Mykolaiv district. The shells damaged residential buildings and a fire broke out on the gas pipeline. In half an hour, the fire on an area of 5 square meters was extinguished by the joint efforts of the rescuers and the emergency team of joint stock company Mykolaiv Gas. On the night of September 25, the Russian armed forces attacked Mykolaiv. The explosions in the city rang out at approximately 1:25 a.m. Alexander Sienkiewicz, the mayor, confirmed the information about the shelling. As of 8:30 a.m., according to the State Emergency Service in Mykolaiv region, one of the rockets hit a 5-story residential building. As a result of the destruction, 2 elderly people were blocked in their own apartment. The rescuers unblocked them. Mykolaiv Regional Military Administration reports that on the morning of September 26, around 5 a.m., the troops of the Russian Federation shelled Mykolaiv. According to preliminary information, there are no dead or injured. In the city, the air raid alert was announced twice during the night. The sounds of explosions were heard. Previously, an industrial zone on the outskirts of the city was struck. On the territory of the industrial enterprise, the windows, roof and doors of the buildings were damaged, as well as the warehouse was partially destroyed, Alexander Sienkiewicz, the mayor, said.